Karibu tena mtazamaji, asante sana kwa kuendelea kuwa nasi hapa kwenye JK Live nikiwa na mwenzangu Ayub Abdikadir, tukiwa tunazungumzia masuala ya utumishi wa umma. Na kama nilivyokuarifu awali, kuna maswali mengi tu kutoka kwa hawa wageni wetu wengi ambao wako nasi hapa. Labda tuanze na mmoja ambaye nadhani swali lake linahusiana na masuala ya interns. Simama tafadhali, tuambie jina lako alafu swali lako ni lipi.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Eric Mutwiri, and my question goes to the CS. This concerns absorption of Public Service Commission interns to permanent and pensionable BCs. Last year, I happened to be in a meeting with the former CS, Justin Muturi, and the permanent secretary, and they promised that the ministry will push for 70% absorption of interns to permanent and pensionable. So therefore, we would like to know, as the CS, how far is the ministry with this initiative? Thank you.
Na bila shaka, kuna swali lingine hapa, mwanadada atatuambia jina lake.
Thank you very much. My name is Susan Chesang from Kenya School of Government. I'm heading a center called Customer Service Excellence. Bwana CS, what we're speaking to this night is about customer service excellence, which the school together with Uduma are running a program called Customer Service Excellence Training. And a directive was issued last year that every public servant should be trained on this, which it should be able to improve the public service delivery at all corners of the service. So my question is, what is the ministry doing to support this implementation? What are we going to do as a ministry to make sure that every public servant is trained on how to give the best to the customer who is a citizen?
Okay. Asante sana.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Lawrence Omauche from Kenya School of Government, and I have 3 questions. They both go to the CS
please,
and the PS.
One question, please.
One question.
One question. One question.
Okay, I'll try one, because I've said one. Okay. Bwana CS, you are once quoted that the current number of public servants in Kenya, they were around 2 million. I don't know if I'm not exact.
One.
There are 1 million.
1 million.
Okay. Thank you for correction. And then you are also quoted saying that if you look at the number, the population of Kenya vis-a-vis the public servants, there is a gap in terms of service delivery. Now, what is the government doing to bridge this gap? Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Susan Nongonga from Kenya School of Government. My question is to the panelists because it cuts across. Public institutions are often faced with resistance when implementing reforms. This is due to we have digitization and then automation and reforms. So my question is, how can the public service adapt effective change management to ensure reforms are embraced and sustained across government? Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Florence Kedenji, Kenya School of Government, and I want to commend you so much for the work that we are doing. We have very many officers who are full of integrity in the public service. How are they identified? How are they celebrated? Therefore, how do we promote integrity? By looking at them and what they're doing in the right manner. Thank you very much.
Okay. Asante sana. Kuna swali lingine hapa kutoka NYS.
Thank you so much. My name is Lucky Mutinda from the National Youth Service. My question goes to our CS. After being well trained and provided with the quality skills in our last phase, that is vocational training, why does the service or the government leave us jobless? Because many ex-NYS tend to go back to the village sector and start afresh?
Thank you. Ayub, naona kama hayo maswali yajibiwe kwanza kisha tutarejea upande huu.
Okay, we'll come for another round of questions. The barrage of the questions coming your way, Bwana CS, especially one touching on promotion, staff morale. We'll be talking about that from Dr. Gedinji, yes, from the Kenya School of Government. Ideally, Prof, you'll also respond to that as well, yes. So let me start with you.
Thank you, Ayub, and thank you for the questions. Let me start with the three questions which have been directed to me. One concerning the interns. Yes, we have an issue as far as interns are concerned, but at the moment we have we have a team which we have put in place from different agencies, different ministries. The team which is working on a framework to ensure that we are not only going to have a very robust internship program from starting next year, but also we are going to have a way of ensuring that the interns which go through the public service internship program are taken care of in terms of the jobs which are available within the public service. However, we have to bring in the private sector because the public service can only take care of a certain number of employees within the public service. We have brought in private sector from Kenya Association of Manufacturers to FKE in this team which we have put in place so that we can know how to incentivize the private sector for us to be able to have a very robust internship program, but at the same time, we see a way of these interns, after they get trained, how they are going to transition into the job market. So this is something we are working on. It's at very advanced stages at the moment, and I'm sure even the PS can talk more about that because she is leading that team. Question number 2. About the customer service excellence, yes, this is the truth. We have a very good training or center at Kenya School of Government, training on customer service excellence. And this is what we want every ministry, every agency within the government or state department within the government to go through the customer service excellence training. And that's why you can see Huduma centers across the Republic of Kenya are serving Kenyans in a very good way, in a very friendly manner, because all the employees of Huduma centers have gone through this training.
Yeah, talking about training as you proceed, a comment says, sent on my WhatsApp, I had bad experience at Huduma Center. The guys there at the birth certificate desk are really mishandling citizens and are very cruel. How do you also correct that? Because I'm sure a majority of the people sitting here, to be fair to the staff, really are traumatized by the experiences that they have across government when seeking services.
For any person or any Kenyan who have come across services which are not offered in the most appropriate way, we are ready to take the necessary steps. I know there are some reports in, not at the Huduma centers, but in some areas where we don't have Huduma centers, but we have application for birth certificates, we have application for identification IDs and other government services in a number of areas where we don't have Huduma centers, and Kenyans are not treated in the most appropriate way. We are ready as a ministry to take necessary steps because we are under very strict instruction from the head of state that every Kenyan must be treated with respect, must be served by the public officer with respect and diligently, and within the time required, not to be tossed lightly left to the center. So anybody with such kind of information, please let us know. We will take the necessary actions. The last question, which it was about 1 million public servants vis-a-vis the population. I think you didn't get my statement clearly. What I said is that we have about 1 million Kenyans who are working within the public service, whether it is teachers or military or county government employees. The entire public service is about 1 million Kenyans, but we are serving 58 million population of the Republic of Kenya. And if you look at that vis-a-vis the claim that the wage bill is bloated, and bearing in mind that many civil servants are not well remunerated, because that's another aspect which we are looking at as a government to ensure that the public servants or the civil servants are well taken care of by the government. You see that there's still some room for us as a country, as a nation, to cover, to ensure all the public servant or the civil servant are well taken care of by the government, which they serve, as well as ensuring that the revenues which are collected by the government, we increase our revenues so that we may not be talking about the bloated wage bill, because we know how, when we are talking about the bloated wage bill, we know how that is calculated.
Yeah. But Bonasias, the 1 million are overpaid, is it? Because when you talk about better remuneration of the public service, those at the bottom of the pyramid are holding up under enormous pressure. There's a squeeze on household budgets and incomes. There's the question of the housing levy, and we'll talk more about that in terms of the staff morale. But it's you guys at the top who are overly paid, is it? And 1 million Kenyans, we have actually breached the financial red lines, is it? Does this point to a question where you guys should lead from the top, including the presidency, of taking financial cuts for proper moderation of our finances so that there is better service delivery for these Kenyans and others who come to your offices?
You probably remember there was a recommendation by SRC for increment of salaries I think a year ago for a number of public servants, which was not effected because the president gave a directive that direction by SRC should not be implemented. And there was, like I said, notice to that effect, but it was not implemented. So the issue of that the very senior civil servant getting a very high pay, that's something which President of the Republic acted upon to ensure that the salary increment and other allowances are not affected. That cassette notice, sometimes last year, I think, or the previous year, I think one of the senior human resource directors here can clarify, it was not implemented. So it is going to inform Kenyans the correct information, Mr. Ayub. Maybe I give the PS an opportunity to expound on some of these issues.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to put an addition to what my able minister has been able to prosecute. Going back to Susan, thank you so much for your observation. Change management has received resistance, and we are aware about it. That is why the public service reform, a directorate under Madam Jacqueline Otuori, has come up with a new policy known as the Public Service Transformation Policy of 2025. The main intention of this policy is to humanize public service and ensure that we perpetuate the culture of change, and to entrench it further in law, that change will become one of the pillars and principles of public service. This particular policy will then pave way for us to have the performance contracting bill. Lucky from NYS, I hear you, I feel you, because NYS is my daughter, the first girl that I have. I wish to give you hope today. NYS has got 4 programs The fourth one is on the commercialization of NYS. That commercialization of NYS has got 8 pillars. The reason why those 8 pillars have been put under a business model canvas is to ensure that all of you are absorbed once you finish. We are racing against time. The Attorney General of this country is on our side. His Excellency is totally in it, and we shall be able to complete that process so that by January we absorb you. Susan Chesang, you have spoken about customer excellence training. Yes, it is true. I agree with you. Public service is the customer care desk of the government. And it is true, we are all supposed to go through that training, but it hasn't been happening. However, during my earlier submission, I spoke about the calendar curriculum that this institution has. Just before this show, I had a very robust discussion with the DG, and we were agreeing on a modality on how this shall be done. So the coming group of interns, we will subject them to this training before they report in their respective areas. Then allow me to speak to Ochiel's issue on the unknown, the issue of public servants being a mystery. I want to assure you, Ochiel, that Human Resource Information Services Kenya, under the able leadership of the Secretary, who is here with us, Murithi, and the in charge, Mr. Bongo, who you can meet after this and have a further discussion, have made very deliberate efforts to ensure that we are able to account for all our public servants. Okay. And then I'll move to the issue on the intern problem in Kenya. I agree with you. I am a dean of a university. The comrades is a very inaugural demographic of my life. And when I got into office, I ran with the presidential directive on the PPP on internship. We have had meetings, interministerial, departments, parastatals, and corporations. And our biggest headache has been, one, the number of interns that we absorb is not commensurate to the number of graduates who graduate every year. Because from the entire universities, private and public, every year, Kenya churns out 50,000 plus of our children. Okay. So 2 things, and I would just wish a minute to complete that. One, we are coming out with modalities on how to take 30,000 of those into internship. The second modality is what next after the internship. The document is in its 3rd reading, and very soon, of course, we welcome you to bring on board your ideas and thoughts, but very soon we shall find a way forward. Then I can't stop there without speaking to the 1 million public servants. Let me make it a bit clearer. 1 million public servants are in the mainstream public service. But remember, government has got parastatals, corporations, other agencies, and SAGASs. So when you put all those together, the number goes beyond 1 million.
Okay. Yes, Bonadiji, yes.
Thank you so much. Ayub, let me speak to the aspect of the ethical leadership, which Dr. Kithinja has raised. Ayub, let me say that in the Constitution, it's very clear that as public servants, supposed to bring honor to the nation and the dignity to the office. That is why the whole issue of ethical leadership is very critical. Ayub, what we at the Kenya School of Government is doing is that we've collaborated with the head of Public Service Commission, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, and other institutions, including Office of the Auditor General, and we came up with a program called Governance, Ethics, Integrity, and Culture Change in the Public Service. the very foundation of that program is basically to bring about the culture change in the service. The culture change of now driving the change where we are collaborating with ESCC and we are developing a baseline corruption perception index for each of the departments so that that becomes a baseline for even at unit level. And then the second question she also asked is that how do you identify the great leaders who bring honor to the nation and dignity to the office? We are also in the process of developing a program called Exemplary Leadership in the Public Sector, where then we'll be recognizing those people through probably appreciating their effort like case studies, bringing them here also for capacity building, celebrating them through, bringing them here so that they share their own experience. Like we are in the process of developing a case study for Muranga County as part of the county government, exemplary performance they're doing, and so many others. And finally, Ayub, there is also the whole issue of intergenerational dialogue, which is driven by the young leaders who are, some of them are seated here, where we bring, the Gen Zs and the older generation together for them to, speak to each other and build their capacity through the whole aspect of succession management, which is also very, very critical. Yeah. And the whole issue of zero-fault audit, which you are also looking at through the Office of Auditor General and Head of Public Service, which is also a very critical aspect.
Okay, Madam PS, Bona CS, I'll go to the CEO because then after the break, the next topic will be very substantive, and that's the place of promotions and employment in the public sector. But Okelo Mwalimu says, Bona CEO, and this is to you, I applied for a birth certificate for my son by eCitizen August last year. Till today, I haven't gotten any response. Something must be terribly wrong with the Huduma service. Kipkorir Serem, who is a student leader from Kericho County, also says, how can Huduma centers be made youth-friendly by the reduction of long lines, system downtimes, rural inaccessibility, and delays in services such as IDs, HELB, NHIF, and KRA PIN?
No. First, I wish to apologize for our customer who will be waiting for so long to get his birth certificate. But I want to also say that one of the services that was re-engineered and has really reduced the turnaround time is the processing of the birth certificate. Today, we have a number of Huduma centers that you walk in, apply for the birth certificate of your kid, and you walk away with it. That must be a peculiar case where there was a problem. I wish to know further which Huduma center, and if he has any details, he could contact calling 1919 or call the office of the CEO so that we can find out what happened. But anytime we are able to get a concern like that, we interrogate to find out exactly what happened. Otherwise, the turnaround time for birth certificates today, between 1 day to about 1 week, depending on which Huduma center. The other concern was about
long queues.
The long queues.
Youth friendly. A majority are young.
Yes. What I want to say about that, and also connecting to the earlier question, where there was a concern about a customer who was mistreated. I want to say this. If there is any concern or mistreatment of any customer, we encourage our customers to call 1919 and report this, or at the end of any service we offer you, we always deploy a survey. Please write to us and tell us that this desk officer has mistreated you and will take action. Abdulkadir, you must realize that there must be a bad egg somewhere. But we are always quick to pick that bad egg and throw it away. Today, we returned a staff from Machakos Huduma Center who mistreated a customer, and we said we can't work with him. That one, we are very, very clear and very strict about that. In terms of long queues, I know we have some Huduma centers that sometimes we experience long queues. But the problem is that our customers have not appreciated our service by appointment software, where you can pick the time you want to be served. They all decide to come at the same time. But we came with the software so that we can manage the queues. So if you do not want to find a queue, please go to our website and go to our software, our app, service by appointment, pick the time you want to be served, and when you come there, you will be served without the queues.
Yeah, before you respond, you are done?
Yes,
your point here. I know it's your boss.
Let the CS. Let the CS.
All right, you will finish up, CS and Madam PS. I'll come to you because we need to go for a break. Come back and.
No, this is very important.
Yes, okay. Finish up briefly then.
We will not, as a CEO of the ministry, I will not accept where we have a bad egg, as the CEO has said. All the employees within Huduma centers, the Republic of Kenya, they must serve Kenyans with respect and the way they are supposed, the way they have been trained. And on top of the number, the customer service number, Kenyans have my number. As a minister in charge, they can call my number, and I will deal with the CEO together with that Huduma center, wherever it is. And my number is 0721922135. And I don't have any other number, because we have a responsibility as a ministry to ensure Kenyans are served with dignity, with commitment across the Republic of Kenya in all Huduma centers. And that is the instruction that I have from the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you.
We have to ensure it is done, and it is done right.
Okay, thank you.
And we will not accept where there is a bad egg within the Huduma center. No.
Okay, point made. Madam PS, can we pay some bills and come back? I'll start with you.
You start with me?
Yes, sure I will. You are the only mother here on the bench.
Please do, thank you.
So when we get back from the break here at the Kenya School of Government, we'll also substantively touch on the place of staff morale, promotions, bringing Kenyans on board, the challenge of nepotism, corruption and favorability within the public service. We welcome your contributions. The hashtag on X is JKL, and we are live from the Kenya School of Government. Mashirima Kapombe and I will be back here on the broadcast. Stay tuned.